Hey guys, alright, today I'm going to be showing what I take fishing for freshwater. So whenever I'm fishing for maybe something like that takes a little while to backpack or hike in, I take my Eagle Claw packet. Sometimes I even want to just use this to freshwater because it's such a good rod. It's like not very expensive rod, but for me it works perfect for the usual, maybe like if I want to get trout or bass fishing, sunfish or perch or pickerel or anything really in Maine that you want, you could probably get with this, unless if it gets probably over 5 pounds or something, you don't really want to bring it in with this, or it might like break or something. Like the specs are, it's like 5 feet 6 inches, 5'6" for the length of it, and then it's a medium action. You could put 4 to 10 pound line on this. I have 12 because it's I just love 12 too much, so much. It's just it just always works for me. I actually have a trout lure on here. I'll talk about that in a sec. You can take, I think the weight's, it's a eighth ounce and half ounce you can put on this. It just pretty much collapses where the part goes about that high, come all the way down. I'm not going to do it right now because I actually have it set up for trout. You take a Berkeley, I'm going to have this all in the description too, for just this lure pretty much, and maybe the rod too, if I can find it on Amazon. It's I think a 1/16 of an ounce jig head, with a 3-inch Berkeley fluke, I think you say it. It's a very, very small one, but you pretty much put the jig head inside it, so you want to actually cut the fluke a little in the front, and you want to cut the head off so it almost looks like a hunk of dead fish or something, and if you bring that to the water, it'll go like this and pop up, like it'll just sit on the bottom. When you pop it up, a trout will just come straight up and smash it. I actually use this one if they're hitting top water, because this is very, very light. You can keep this, you could even run this like a frog on the top of the water, but I usually use worms when it's trout season, and I would use a setup kind of like this, where you have a hook that's a number 10 long. I just have some fake Berkeley floating trout worm on there. I'll link that in the description. I don't usually use bobbers. This is set up for carp right now. I'll link I'll link my brother's channel in the description so you could like head on over there and see some carp fishing. But I usually put like a number 10 to a number 14 hook on here, and then I put I think it was 1/8 ounce weight drop shot, a little, like probably 8 to 10 inches high, and you just pop that with a worm on the hook, just right across the water, and then they'll just smack it. But it has to be during trout season, or if it's not trout season, you want to probably use this so they're hitting more bait fish versus like a worm or something. Then I have a net, and this is something you always want to have when fishing. With trout, I usually dip my hand in the water and then bring them up. I don't usually use a net for them. But anything like pickerel, bass, or sunfish or perch, I'm going to use the net. And then I have a SJ4000. So I have a head mount and a chest mount. Then this is my fishing bag. So in the front I have my knife. It's a Mustad. It's very sharp. And then I have pliers for in case you gotta pull the hook out if you can't do it with your hands. Or if you need a cutting line, you can use those. The Mustad one does have a piece where you can cut line there too. Then I have a wacky worm, like put the bands on it so the worm won't come off the hook. I actually have a video on that, but there's probably other videos on YouTube. There's even a couple of tools that you can use. And then I have a stringer, and that's it in there. I have another stringer right here. Then in the pockets, what's over here? I have like a plastic bag for worms. If you like, I just have it in there. That's like last week's. I just reuse them. You just wash them off. They be fine. You can use a container too. I have bobbers. That's like more or less for catfish. Big bobber. Then I have in the top of this electrical tape in case you need it. I actually have a couple of bobbers that I need to move. Then inside I have like anything like a hard bait or kind of soft that has hooks. I have what I use for smallmouth, just pretty much a fluke, the like Texas rig, a chatterbait. I actually have a Zoom green pumpkin on there, crayfish, and then I have a storm perch. I think it's a 3 inch, 4 inch. And then I have a 3 inch sunfish. And then I have frog like kind of like that. And then another frog. And I actually got this one from Walmart. And I think it was like $2 or something. And it works good. It catches me pickerel. Then I have all types of red devils, a lucky strike on the bottom, that worked good for pike. Chatterbait, I forget what that one's called right there, but that works for bass. And then I have some that are for my grandfather. Then for bass, pretty much always works for me whenever I'm in Canada. You put a little number 10 hook on this Yamamoto Grub. It's the smallest they sell, and they always hit it. You can even use the glow ones for trout too. Then I'm going to put all this back in here so I can show the other side. Actually, I'll just pull it out. I'll put it back in after. I have these for walleye. They're Storm Shad. A really big red devil. I heard about using these, and this is actually a rooster tail. So I'm going to be using those sometime. Maybe I'll show them up in one of my videos. Then I have some jig heads. You can use that for any bait fish and stuff. Here's those really small jig heads. And then they're all different size jig heads over here. And then big triple barb. I think that's probably number 4. And then I have swivel, or something, I forget what these are called, but different size ones. Then I have some jitterbugs and a crankbait right there. These are triple barb by Mustad, and they're for saltwater, but I can use them for fresh too. Then I have number 10 long, and then number 10 triple, and I think these are number 8 long and number 8 triple barb, and then this one is number, I think, 6 triple barb, and then these I think are 5s of triple barb. And then I have tons of these swivel pieces right here. And then these are for catfish. I think these are number 2 circle hooks. Oh, no, number 4. Then I have a lot of Texas rig. That's one type that is like a triple barb. And then I have this type where you twist the bait on, and then you can have a Texas rig that works pretty good. And then I have Mustad hooks. Those are number 16. I have number 14 too, right here. My scale actually has tape measure in it too. And then I have this chartreuse PowerBait for trout. And then I have this is natural Grub. It's Berkeley. And then I have extra line in case if I get a problem with one of my reels, I have extra line. Oh, and this rod is a fully Daiwa. So this is a Daiwa, what was this? Daiwa 3000 on a Daiwa Crossfire. And this is 6 foot, and then you can put 1/8 or 3/4 ounce on this. Very, very, very nice rod. It's nice and balanced. Then tape measure, 6 feet. It's Stanley, but like Fat Max. I have a huge one that's like 30 feet. These things always work for me. I'm a woodworker a little bit, so I kind of use those. Nice big bobber catfish again. Knife right there, flame, and then I have another one for bigger, you got like bigger fish. A booklet where you can see what type of fish you have. This is all freshwater. It has even mammals on it and too and stuff. So you get all different types of cool stuff with that. I have, because I didn't have enough room for all my things to go in the boxes that I'm about to show. I bought this from Cabela, so I'll put this in the description too. It's called Bass Bucket. I got some of these, I think, green pumpkin, and it has like purple flake in it. These worms, I forget what they're called. It's like a trick worm. And then these you use for the wacky rigs. And then some more. This is, that's green pumpkin. And then this is green pumpkin blue flake. Green pumpkin, actually no, that's watermelon green flake. That's trickworm. Then I have some gulp grub. These are scent. And then I have a leech. And then right behind it there's actually a gulp worm. Kind of like you could get it in this smaller, but I got in the bigger package. It's like an earthworm. Always need a light straw. And that's it in there. Now I come down the bottom of my bag. My favorite part of it. This bag's actually from Cabela's. It will be linked in the description too. Here's some more of those fish I shown. And then I forget what these company are, but this is actually a tadpole. Then this is a storm. No, Zoom craw. It smells. It's a smell type. And then Gary Yamamoto. Like natural color. I forget what it's called. And then this is a tube. That's green pumpkin. And then these from my grandfather. I think they're by Berkeley. This is like a leech color, like black. And then this I think is like red or something. Or brown, I'm not sure. I never had the packages, they were just in plastic bags. And then this is all of my Zoom. It seems like a piece right here broke off. That's a Zoom, I think Zoom claw or something. No, that's a Zoom claw right there. That's green pumpkin. That's watermelon with I think it's chartreuse claws or something. These work great for bass, any type. You just Texas rig it. Probably put weight for a head, like a jig head type of deal, but that works good. This works for pickerel if you have it weightless. You just have this come across the top of the water and pickerel will come up because it looks like a frog. I do like buying a lot of these. They're actually green pumpkin, No, watermelon, red flake, frogs, zoom. This is all zoom, so. And you just put a Texas rig on this. You cast it out. It's heavy enough where you could cast it out quite far. And then you want to actually lift it out of the water and bring it almost like what you would do with like a top water frog. I have lizards too. These work good for bass. You could do weightless or you could do drop shot. And then this will work for bass too. It's a zoom, I think 4-inch or 5-inch, I forget. 4-inch fluke. It's green pumpkin, so pretty cool. And then more stuff from the Cabelas. When you get it, it's random how many pieces you get. There's these like little wacky rigs that you could have, and then all different types. I don't really know what some of them are called. More wacky rig. And then this type of worm and stuff, it's blue, and this trick worm. More, that's like almost like a U-tail. That's pretty cool. Trick worm. Like if you had frogs hitting, you want to throw this. Like getting eaten, like frogs getting eaten. And another type of U-tail it looks like. Pretty cool. These probably work more for summer and some for fall. And then this is where I like to come to, is my favorite type of bait is this floating trout worm by Berkeley. It's a natural color. You just put a small number 14 hook on the end of this, and then you put a 1/8 ounce drop shot about 8 to 10 inches high, and you just jig this right in the water and you'll catch trout. I love trout fishing, so I buy that in bulk. Then all different types. This is by Cabela's too. Not these. I just took the things out of these parts. This is where the jig heads were. When you get it, jig heads were here, and then there was actually these black and white fish that are here. I use those for saltwater. Pogies and stuff. I'll have a review on my saltwater stuff. It's actually quite cool what I have in there. I love to striper fish and pogie fish. Those are some of the real good fish around here, I think, for saltwater. And then anything like smelt and stuff, I use cast nets. And then sometimes if I'm lucky and I see a group of herring, I'm going to throw in like a small little Berkeley like smelt toward them. But you could even use something like a black and white one of these that comes with it to catch herring. Anything that really looks like a smelt, you can catch most saltwater fish. There's all different types, grubs and stuff. This is actually, I'll have this link in the description. It's actually the Cabela's Walleye kit. It has 213 pieces, so this is a very, very good thing if you want maybe walleye fish. I rarely go out for walleye, but whenever I do, it's usually I go toward this box or those shad. The shad work very, very good for walleye. You just have to find where the walleye usually are. You could probably ask around, but once you find them, you want to use a shad, or you can use this Cabela's kit too. And you could ask around and see what other baits work, but that's what I pretty much use. So